been friends since
Oh yeah,
since we were kids. Therefore,
male's the childhood friend.
we are destined to one day fuck. Although you can't say that in school.
Uh,
Anyway, this is Dex. He is the operator of Gutsman, and he will be giving us not a tutorial, but it's basically an optional boss fight to show you how bosses are going to work in this game. They have higher health. There's usually only one of them, and they will wreck your shit if you're not careful.
they will also later on they will also give you a Navi chip. They'll give you the Mega Class chip.
Yes, is that the regular bosses, or you have to fight the super forms of them?
So when you first encounter bosses, they'll typically just drop you Zenny. Then when you re-encounter them, they'll drop their actual chip.
I see. So right now we're fighting Gutsman. He's basically your typical tutorial boss. He has shockwaves. He has a punch. He'll punch you in the face. He will do something new, that he will crack the floors on all the row in front of him, so that if you step on one and then step off of it, it will become a hole that you can't maneuver around. So you have to be pretty careful with how the bosses manipulate the battlefield. You can also manipulate the battlefield in your own way, like how we used the steel stuff before. There's a bunch of different types of floor panels. Like there's cracked, you have the regular floor panels, then there's holes, I got punched in the face, and then you have, I think there are poison panels in this game. I don't remember.
I forget if there are poison panels in this game.
And I don't know if there are any other panels. I can't remember.
Personally,
I know in later Battle Networks
I've only did full playthrough. Have I done full playthrough of Battle Network 4? I feel like I have.
I know other Battle Network games have more tiles.
Yeah,
but I
other
don't
Battle
think
Network games have a bunch.
this game isn't that advanced
done the
yet.
full play. Oh yeah, this was the first attempt, and when we get to the internet, it will show that this was the first attempt. But clearly, if this is Battle Network 1, and there were 6 Battle Networks afterwards, it did something really good.
Yeah, as people seem to really like this thing. Something I don't like about bosses, a few things I don't like about bosses in this game, is one, they have invincibility frames when you hit them, so that you can't just like combo them to death. Which I guess is a good thing in terms of game design, but it's still kind of annoying. As you will, if you don't take it into account, you will sometimes waste chips into the boss trying to hit it when you can't.
It'll become better in Battle Network 2.
And another thing I don't like is that unlike regular enemies that usually have like set movement patterns, like they'll only move up or down or forward or backwards or something like that, bosses usually just teleport around the screen randomly until they're ready to attack. In which case, specific chips that hit in like specific areas, so you have to like really be ready to like just mash your attack button when they suddenly randomly decide to teleport in front of you, which can happen often or it can happen never. It's just all a game of luck. Anyway, this is our folder. This is where you get to choose, where you customize the chips you get to take into battle with you. When you get chips, you don't get to use them immediately. You have to put them in your folder first, and that means you have to take a chip out first. So think carefully, strategize, kids. It's what's for dinner.
This game will show you what happens if you choose not to update your chip folder, and you won't like it.
No, you will die. You will die painfully. Although this game does have feature, you can save wherever, whenever. So it's not like death is that much of a penalty if you're paranoid like I am and save every 5 seconds.
Oh, so since we're going through, apparently we're going through all 6 games.
We will eventually be playing all 6 games.
You're
yes.
So you're definitely going to enjoy that bit because you're in that you won't like some areas if my memory serves correctly.
Wonderful. Can't wait for that. Anyway, we have a
I
repairman
don't
at
I
our
don't
house.
I've not played every single Battle Network game, but I've seen every single Battle Network game and I own 2 of them.
That man is throwing me pedal vibes. Look at that goatee. You can stab somebody with that goatee.
He just runs up and he's like, "Hey, you want to have a bad
like,
time?"
like, sir, do you have any deadly weapons on you? Yes.
No.
Yes. It's
He's that one guy from Ratatouille. I killed a man with this goatee.
yeah. I've never seen Ratatouille. Anyway, we
Oh, you've never
No,
seen
I have
Ratatouille? That's a fun movie.
anyway we have to go play.
Or at least I remember it being fun. I haven't watched it in years.
This is how we explore the internet. We get to send our little dude, and this is introducing the most annoying thing about this game, that in a way is what makes it an RPG. Random battles. You just walk around. When you're walking around, and you sometimes get enemies that will just pop up and try and kill your face. This guy in particular likes to give me the red ass.
Because he's programmed to not be on your same
Yes, he
row.
will avoid your roll like the plague, and then teleport in front of you and lick you very quickly, and then and then teleport back to his side to do it again. So it's very hard to hit this guy if you don't have quick reactions.
This is post commentary, so just as a tip, because I don't remember if you caught on to it. When you fight this guy, just stay the second row on the second column on your side. So that when he pops over, you just jump back and then jump back.
Yeah,
in.
I don't think.
Because he freezes for like a second.
Yeah,
there.
I don't think I caught on to that. Well, I did catch on, but by that I had wasted like all of my sword chips and stuff.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
But this guy, if I remember correctly, in this game anyway, he actually drops a very useful chip.
Yes, enemies, and all enemies drop either money or chips. You don't get experience from battles. You will drop either money or chips, and the only way to power up Megaman is through the use of HP memories and power-ups that you can either buy or find randomly in the internet or in the world. Or they're given to you by certain characters. Not sure how many are like that though.
Just waiting for it to die.
Die eventually. It's dead.
There it goes. It's dead.
And see, at the end of the battle, you get a busting
to
level.
explain how you get chips, to explain how you get chips, we have to explain the busting level. So after every encounter, the game grades you on how well you did.
The
higher your busting level, the more likely you are to get a battle chip. It doesn't mean that you'll get one.
Yes, basically how your busting level is determined just how fast you kill the enemies. Battles in this game actually don't take that long. Usually you can wipe out most of the smaller enemies in like a few seconds. Sometimes less than a second.
You will feel the hurt when you start fighting bosses for their chips. You will feel the hurt.
When you start fighting like optional bosses and stuff, that's when it can become a bit of a chore to do these encounters. But while these encounters are annoying, they aren't typically that bad, since most of them really only take a few seconds. It's not like some RPGs where each battle takes up to a few minutes, and so random encounters are like really, really annoying. But I should mention that there is no way to reduce random battles. At least I don't think there is. So
if I recall correctly, I don't think the item that you can layer in layer games that would be available to avoid random encounters was implemented.
Yes. So yeah, you're gonna. They're annoying, but they're not that annoying. I will be cutting out all the random battles unless it's a new enemy that we're fighting, or we're getting a chip, or getting a new chip. So these things, this has two new enemies, although really only one. We fought the cannons before. Cannons will just try and shoot you whenever you stay in their line of sight. They don't move, and so they're not, and so that makes them
I don't
really
know
easy
why,
targets.
but I swear this guy's name was Fishy.
I don't know what his name is. I just call him Glide or Dash because that's the name of the chip you get from these guys. All they do is just.
I swear, I think it's actually called Fishy.
All they do is just weave back and forth until you're in their line of sight, and they will try and ram into you. Now is when I ram you. So these things don't do much. Their chip is pretty good. It's basically Shockwave, but it's like slightly better because
Actually,
it can't be stopped by holes in the ground.
It can't be stopped by holes in the ground, but the drawback is that your frames to get you can still be hit while you're in the animation.
Yeah, you can't move as fast out of it. See, we got Dash.
Dash
B. As opposed to Dash E.
I forget if Dash comes in an E code.
I don't remember. But this is our merchant. He will all these guys, there are multiples of this guy, will basically be your best friend. He sells you chips, and the only way you can ever power up Mega Man through HP memories, which will increase your HP by 20 every time you buy one, or power-ups, which will increase the power of your Mega Buster. I forget if they actually even call it a Mega Buster in this game.
It's called the Mega Buster in this game. I'm fairly
so
sure.
You will so the power-up increases the power of your Mega Buster by 1, I think.
Yeah. So power-ups work that you can power up of its 3 different stats. I believe it's speed, attack, and I want to say charge.
Yeah. So speed, I think, is how fast you can just shoot the thing. Power is how much damage it does. Right now, it only does 1 damage. So even against these little enemies, it's not that useful. And then charge allows you to do charge shots, which do I think 10 damage right now if we were to actually get it. I'm not sure, but it's a lot more useful than just trying to spam hit the thing with 1 damage a pop.
Though if powering the Mega Buster, or at least powering up to get the charge feature already is not your cup of tea, later games will actually just give you the charge shot free of charge. So he'll just come equipped with it at that point.
Yes. Every time the screen fades to black, that's just me editing out a random battle. There are a lot of them. God help me when we get into later parts of the internet.
If you thought Pokemon was bad walking through the grass, this game will trounce that.
The entire internet is tall grass, basically.
That's a good way to put it.
So if you weren't paying attention, we were basically on a side quest not a side quest. We had to do this. We had to go find that little program, that little bunny thing, and give it to Glide, who is Yai's Navi, and tell him where it was.
Now, for people
now
who
we have to go get our mom to make us a snack after we explore Yai's computer.
Now, for people who don't like Navi, the Mr. Programs are sort of like her in the sense they tell you what to do whenever you go into an area.
They're basically NPCs.
But for some reason, later on in the development of the Mega Man Battle Network series, someone just decided to leave the caps locks on whenever they typed in their dialogue. So every single time you talk to one, it feels like they're shouting at you.
I guess that was just to make sure you knew that they were NPCs.
We are important!
No, we are not important. You will probably never need to talk to most of the little bunny things you find scattered throughout the world.
They're actually mostly annoying because by the time you talk to one, you never talk to them ever again. Most of the times, anyway. But it's just this thing with with any Mr. Program you talk to, always yelling at you and just sitting there being like, please stop.
Yeah. I'm sitting here trying to press A on this little thing because I think it'll take me to another area, but I don't think it does anything for right now.
No, so if you jacked in from Yai's computer, that would be where you
That's what I
start from.
thought. So we have to. So we're done on the internet for today. We can't go any further. So we have to go out and get mom to make us a snack because we're hungry and we're 10. We can't cook for ourselves. And this is where I edited my folder to accommodate all of the new chips we got. I think I just put in the shockwaves and not the cannons, the dashes.
I would recommend more Shockwaves.
Yes, I only have two, so I just put in the two that I have. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a button to alphabetize your folder.